Hello, everyone, and welcome to the eighth episode of the Teen Talk podcast. And today I'm here with a very special friend of mine, Liana. So, Liana, welcome.
Hello, Abir. Thank you for having me today. I'm very excited to make this episode and to have this podcast with you. And I very much support your podcast and your mission. So I wish you the best of luck with this.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, and I really appreciate you for reaching out to me and for finding ways to make this podcast happen and this episode happen. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
So, I think whilst reading the episode titles, it's a very interesting topic and it's something that I love talking about, and it's something which is so relevant because everyone has been through, or rather, most people have been through this experience, right, of university life, of everything university basically. Some people are going through it right now, some people will go through it. So it's a very relevant topic that we're talking about. So I'm just going to dive right in and ask you, like, how was the university cultural shock for you? Did you have a cultural shock? How was it for you?
Thank you. Actually, as you said, it's a very important topic, and I'm also very passionate to speak about and elaborate on. And I think it needs more highlighting. People should focus on it more. There was definitely a cultural shock, and no one prepares us for this cultural shock, which is the transition from school to university life, especially in terms of cultures, sometimes in terms of even the gender base. So it's a mixed gender. So I came from a school that was all girls, and then I switched to a university that is mixed. That was first a different experience. Other than that, cultures, different religions, it's a whole new world, as if you enter a new environment and you have to interact and deal on a daily basis with different kind of people, different personalities, different cultural backgrounds, so many different aspects. And I think that they don't prepare us for it, but also it just pushes you to be right there and to just open your mind and to kind of get yourself out of your comfort zone and speak to people and try to, as much as possible, to interact and break this cultural shock. It's hard, it's difficult, but I think it just needs time. It needs time to get used to it.
Yeah, I think, like you said, like no one prepares us for this, right? Like in school, it's all studies, 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 exams, 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 that we don't even get to, like, understand different things. Like, I feel like schools, they really don't, teach us the real life skills. Most schools don't. It's just mugging up and, you know, just studying, which honestly, in later on in life, it's not like that. Later on, you have to really try to, put yourself out there, use your skills, which you don't learn in school. So I think I resonate with you on the cultural shock as well, because I grew up around Indians and Indians only. And when I saw like people from different nationalities in university, I was like having these thoughts like, oh my God, what if they judge me? What if they make fun of my accent? What if they think I'm weird or something like that? So it was very difficult initially, but I think with time, it just becomes a norm and you just try to accept it. And you realize that, you know what, no one's actually making fun of me. It's just my thoughts. I'm overthinking it. So this is something which I feel is such a like, it's
100%
such a
Abir.
common experience.
Yes, and for all students who are listening or anyone who's going to approach university is going to have the switch. If one message, it's normal. It's normal to feel whatever you feel at the first beginning, a few days, even few months. Sometimes it takes you a year. Maybe the second year of university, you'll get used to the environment, to the different cultures. But as long as you feel it's normal and you adapt to it and don't be scared, don't be intimidated. I know it can be intimidating, it can be scary. Just know that you are not alone. We have all been through that situation. And I think just knowing that in the back of your mind, it's just so comforting to know that, okay, at least it's not something I'm only experiencing. No, it's a universal thing. Many people experience that. And shout out to Tiwi, because me and you are youth ambassadors at Tiwi, and that's the platform where I got to meet an amazing person like you. So Tiwi actually helps to bridge the gap between schools and universities, and I think this is the main mission of that platform. So shout out to them. So yeah, there's so many now people trying to build communities, to build platforms for students who face these kind of challenges and these kind of struggles. So I'm very happy that day by day we are being heard more, and that's something that excites me, and it's very nice.
Yeah, 100%. Like no one's, no one's alone in this. We're all in this together. And it's okay to feel scared. It's okay to feel intimidated. It's very normal and very human, like you said. And we wish all students their best. And, try to find like-minded people like you who are in that same situation so you can relate to them. And I think something else that makes, university life really scary, or the choosing part, is the major, and like what major to choose. Because like more than anything else, it's that, it's like, what do I do? Because everyone's so confused, like what do I do, right? Because for the majority of your life, everything, all decisions are made for you. Your parents choose your school, your parents choose your subjects, your school chooses what dress you wear, which class you sit in, who you sit with. So now it's like you're put on the spot, you're thrown in the swimming pool, that now you are going to make this decision, and when no one's helping you, you are deciding it. Of course there are people, but at the end of the day, it's your decision, right? So I think that's something that makes it really scary, is that that's your first time where you make that independent decision. And thoughts like, oh my god, what if I choose this but then later on I don't want to actually do it? That's a very human thought to come up. And so I want to know about you. So like, how was your, how did you come to a conclusion that computer engineering was a major for you and the one?
I never knew it was the one. I'm graduating and I still don't know if it's the one. So as you
Oh
said,
wow.
yeah, as you said, I think majority of our lives, especially in school, we are spoon fed everything, and we don't make most of our decisions. Everything, even the time schedule, the classes, everything is fixed for you. There isn't this kind of freedom of choice, and that makes life easier. But also, doesn't give you the skill of making your own decisions, life decisions. And once you go to university, you realize, oh my God, there are many decisions that I have to take that are life changing. And how can you even tell me at the age of, I don't know, I was 17 years old, I can make up a life decision of what will I work for the rest of my life and what is my career going to be like? It's so difficult. And it's so hard to choose a major, really. Like, it was a matter of luck in my situation. It was a matter of a click randomly. All I knew, I wanted engineering. But then, what kind of engineering was something upon, I don't know, it was pressure, or I've seen that, okay, the future, or the world is heading towards AI and artificial intelligence and computer engineering, and this is the future. So I decided to major in this. Did I know that I like it? Had no idea. How will I know? Absolutely no idea. And also for students, I would tell them to know, to make such a decision, try as much as possible at school to invest in your time, try to take courses, extracurricular stuff, I don't know, try to experience as much as possible different aspects of life, so you kind of, at least, you will not know. There's no way you will know 100% what will you major at. However, you will at least determine the things that you like and you don't like. And I think the most important part at that age, to know what you don't like more than what you like. Because if you determine what you don't like, at least you know that, okay, I can avoid that. So I knew, for example, I don't like medicine. So I knew, okay, I could eliminate this option. Now I have other options, of course, many other options. I wanted to study architecture, graphic design, advertisement, marketing, engineering, whole aspects. I think then to choose, you just put the negatives, put the positives, start weighting them. And now with ChatGPT, you can use the AI tools actually to help you. I think this is very helpful. I didn't think of it before, but if I had AI at my time, I would definitely use it to know, for example, okay, what kind of job will I be working in when I graduate? What will the future? What's the marketplace of this major? What is the salary? What's the income? What's the environment going to be like? I think when you use these AI tools, it will help you a lot and it will save you time out of researching through the web. So you can use that definitely. And then in your university, it's never too late. Like, for example, I have met many people who studied, I know a friend who studied law. She finished law and now she's studying digital production and storytelling, which is filmmaking basically. So she's now doing a complete career shift, totally normal. Never too late. As long as you find yourself, if you find yourself, this is not my place, just have the courage to move on, like to kind of switch. It's fine. You don't have to stay in the same place and be stuck for the rest of your life, and never regret the decisions that you have taken. Because again, we were young, and of course, we're not expected from us to know everything, you know? So that's in terms of the decision making. Yeah, it's very hard. I'm graduating with computer engineering, but that doesn't mean that I'll work for the rest of my life in computer engineering because I've realized that no, I like my other things as well. I'm more passionate, for example, in coaching, in public speaking, in I don't know, in teaching. So it's fine. We can always try to switch. It's never too late. And whatever I learned throughout the 4 years in engineering were very, very helpful. No matter what, there is no education that you will take, no matter what major, that's useless. You'll always learn. You learn how to learn. That's the most important thing, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's ironic how you said that, like you're graduating, but you're still not sure if you did, chose the right thing. And I think that's so important for students to hear because it's such a like difficult decision as well. Because I know someone who studied electronics engineering and now she's into HR. So you never know where life takes you. And it's always really great to be open to like, multiple things. Always try out, like you said, courses and, take up classes. You'll really learn about yourself as well. So that's something which is important, that just because you choose a major does not mean you're going to actually enter in that field. And it's okay to change. It's okay to step out of something you thought you were good at or you thought you liked. Life is like that, and we always move on. Other thing which is also very common amongst university students is burnout. And, like for example, myself, like I feel like if I'm only doing uni, I feel like it's not enough. I want to go and get some maybe work experience because I think that's important. More than a degree, I think experience is important. Sometimes I end up, taking these internships and then I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired and I have assignments piling up. And then I've committed for something else. And then I have to focus on my life in itself. So I'm like, I'm so burnt out. So I just want to know, like, have you ever been burnt out and how have you dealt with it?
Tell me about it, really. I relate a lot to what you said. Uni alone was never enough for me. I realized early on that, okay, I like the academic part, but that's not who I am. Like, I don't want to just focus on that. There are many things to focus on. And as you said, I was someone who always liked to take new internships, go to sign with new clubs, do a lot of extracurricular activities, always participate in competitions, hackathons. I'm always running, and people tell me, okay, you can calm down. And they've
Mm,
told me early on that you will burn out. There will be a day that you will burn out. And honestly, I used to be annoyed by this because as someone who's very ambitious and always motivated, someone telling you this from outside kind of feels demotivating, that okay, you will burn out, you
yeah.
have to calm down, don't put your expectations too high, you can only focus on academics. Even some professors don't like it sometimes. They tell you, okay, but just focus on studying now, and then work will come later on in life once you graduate. I kind of disagree. So you should find a balance. Yes, I would say maybe I reached a point where I was about to burn out. I don't know if I experienced full burnout, but definitely I was demotivated at towards the very end of my fourth year. I felt so tired, very exhausted. And as you said, there are many things on your plate that you have to balance, whether it was many things, friendships, you have to balance your religion, you have to balance your academics, you have to balance your internships, extracurriculars. So there are many things that you have to make sure everything is going fine, and it's hard. It's extremely hard, and you will feel burnout. I would say the most important thing for students is early on to have good time management skills. And this is something that I lack personally, and I'm still working on every single day. But time management is very important, and it is possible. You can go to the gym and exercise and study and do internships and try many different things and have good relationships, and you can do it 100%. It is achievable, and as long as you know that it is achievable and people have done it, you can do it. Always keep telling to yourself, if someone did it, I can do it. So I think if you have good time management skills, if you plan your time correctly, if you have prioritization, so you know, okay, I can prioritize this task. Now it's time to give less attention to this, for example. So you don't, for example, you have to compromise. You won't be someone, if you are high achieving student and you also want to do many things, of course you'll not go hang out with your friends every single day, right? Like some people would do that every single day, but if you want to achieve many things, you'll have to compromise on that a little bit and start, for example, dedicating the weekends for your friends, for example, or one day a week. So you should find a balance and know your priorities, know what, okay, I should give high importance to and what should be less important in my life. And then I think you will find and always find things to stress relief. So I had a new membership with the gym. I think exercising really helped me, or running in the mornings on Kite Beach. I go 6 a.m. for these walks and runs. It's really, really helpful to just get all of the energy out. And it also makes your brain function better and gives you a clarity of thoughts. So I think these are the things that help me the most. And also talk to your friends. So talk as much as possible. It's fine. Don't ever accumulate the feelings in you. It's fine. You can have hangouts. You can go out. So have a balance. Don't study all the time.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And I love how you mentioned prioritization because something I heard recently, like in a podcast itself, it was basically about burnout and how to avoid it. And one thing she said was that when you make your to-do list, try to not overburden yourself with things, with tasks. Maybe if, you can have time for laundry today, just do that, and maybe some few things as well, but don't overburden yourself with like 10, 20 tasks. Keep it slow, keep it soft. Try to, like, because like if you add so many tasks in one day, I mean, looking at the to-do list itself, you're going to be tired. So
True. This is something I experience. I write like 20 things, and at the end of the day, I only get two things done because maybe the feeling that there's so many tasks, you try to avoid them. It feels overwhelming and it feels a lot of pressure on you. As you mentioned, maybe just have little tasks, not a lot of tasks, and manageable ones, just the ones that you have to focus on. And once you are done with them, you can add tasks to the list. So it's never like you can adjust it, it's flexible.
yeah, exactly. And I love how you mentioned about, the going to the gym and all of the wellness things. I think that really matters as well. And like you said, going out with friends every day is not a priority. You can go once or twice a week, and really learn to prioritizing your time is very important. And I think that's something which I completely agree with you on. So just recently as well, I went, like, I think it was in October. I was so burnt out, like with, uni and assignments and everything, that, and I was doing an internship as well. So there was this one day where I remember I did not even have the energy to open a tab on my laptop. And I literally just shut my laptop. I was like, I can't do this. I need to go home. Like, I literally cannot do this. And I took a break from that internship because I physically felt exhausted. mentally, physically, everything. Like I was not even taking care of myself physically. I started eating so much junk, and I'm still recovering from that. I still feel like I'm still eating junk a lot, but I feel like this is something for everyone to hear. Please, please, please do not push yourself till the stage of burnout. Try to, do less tasks. If you feel like you cannot, go for this gathering today and, people are forcing you to go, just say no. Just say no, because if you say yes, you're saying no to yourself and you're going to get burnt out. And that's not really fair to you as well. So saying no is very important when you're prioritizing your tasks.
I really, really agree with you. And I relate as well. I had an internship experience. And as you mentioned, I remember I felt overwhelmed. I felt like I can't manage. I just left the internship. And people like the HR, the manager told me, why? What are the reasons? I just said that I can't take it anymore. So I think what you said is very important. Just don't pressure yourself too much. Just know when to say no. Never feel that, first of all, don't have fear of missing out, FOMO. You'll never miss out, don't worry. And in terms, I mean, hanging out with friends, it's fine. Sometimes if you can't, you feel physically you can't, it's fine. There are many days that you will go out with your friends. And in terms of internships and jobs, never feel like you missed on an opportunity. I remember when I took this decision of leaving the internship, it was a very valuable internship to me, and I had to continue a 6 months duration. But after 2 months, 3 months, I realized that I can't have both. It was really, really tiring, especially that I had to work 8 to 5 physically there, not remotely. It was impossible. How will I balance my classes with internship?
Yeah.
So it was a hard decision. But as you said, I knew that, okay, it's time to say no. It's fine. I'll find other opportunities in the future, inshallah. More things will happen, more things will come. I don't have regrets. It's fine. But put your mental health first. I think mental health now, Aslan, in this time and age, is taking a lot of spotlight. And I really like that because really, mental health should be number one priority. So, whatever is going to cost of your energy and you feel that it will mentally drain you, that's the time you just say no. I'm not going to take this anymore. My mental health is more important. And of course, your physical health as well. Definitely your well being in all, I believe.
Yeah, of course. Like, I think I love how there's so much more awareness about mental health than, the years before. And I love that for all of us. And another thing which really, really helps when you feel like you're stressed is just stopping what you're doing and just go for a 10-minute walk. Like it could be,
100%. I go to the beach, that's my coping mechanism, really. Whenever I feel like I can't take it anymore, if you drive, go to the beach. Or if you have someone who can pick you, or I don't know, anything, just go to the beach and just, it's so, so calming, so relieving to hear the sound of waves, the water, just to sit there, do nothing, absolutely nothing, close the Wi Fi, airplane mode, whatever it is, just disappear for a few hours. I think it's really, really helpful.
yeah, I can imagine. I mean, just going to a beach and just sitting, it must be really, really therapeutic. Like,
Yeah.
I personally love going to the beach. I rarely do, but when I do, I'm just like, okay, I want to come back again. And I think something else, like we spoke about, the cultural shock, the whole idea of choosing a major, and then, the whole phase of burnout. Now, all these experiences, like, I feel like no one is ever truly the same person they were from when they finished school and when they started university or when they finished university. Like, at least something changes in you, like your personality changes, your values change, you grow as a human basically. Like, for example, when I was in school, all I cared about was marks, was grades, because that's what teachers basically taught us, that you need to get good marks or else you won't get to a good university, which is true. Like, you need a certain grade, but that's not it. After that, what? your your employer is not going to ask for your 10th grade exam sheet or your 12th grade exam sheet. They're going to ask, can you get the job done? Do you have these skills? Stuff like that. So, like, how have you changed basically as a person from finishing school to starting uni? Like, I want to know more about that.
A lot. I have changed a lot. And I don't think the change happened between school and uni like first years. I think Majorly, the change is now me in my fourth year graduating, and me, the freshman Liana who joined university 4 years back. Completely different mindset, completely different priorities in life. As you said, something I like, grades, academic wise. In school, I was always caring about my grades. Really, it was my number one priority. I remember, like, towards my high school years, I stopped all extracurricular activities. I was so focused on the a lot. We had a lot of exams, AP exams, SAT exams. We had board and on board. I don't know. There were different kind of exams that we had to take, and that was all my focus. TOEFL, I don't know, many different exams, MSATs even. So that was my main focus, academics. And then thankfully I graduated as a valedictorian. I was very happy. It was an achievement for me. But then when I went to university, and I'm thankful for, by the way, yes, I got 100% scholarship out of that experience. And then when I went to university, I had also this goal that I want to be the valedictorian in university as well, until I realized that it's not my priority. And I remember the first time I got a very low grade, the amount of shock for me. We had all this academic validation, and for me that was just, oh my god, what's happened now? What's this? Like, all I cared about was my grades. And once I took a very, very low grade, I remember the amount of frustration. I felt like I lost all my personality. I felt like I've lost everything. And then just later you have to move on, obviously, and I realized it wasn't that deep. And I realized that everyone should be more than grades, really. So you realize that grades matter, but they don't matter that much. And no employers and HRs will not look at your grades the most important thing. Maybe they'll just look at it as a glimpse. Okay, is she like a good student, average student? That's it. But it really,
Yeah.
really doesn't matter. What matters is the experiences that you take, the opportunities that you take, the competitions. Build your personality, build your character. So try to, as much as possible, to be open to new things. Don't ever just surround yourself in this box of academics. It is important, of course, care about it, but it's not everything. Actually, it's literally, I believe it's very, very less important, especially if you want to deal with the actual life. You will have to face many things that academics will not help you. So we all know there's book smart and street smart. You can be book smart, but I think street smart is even more important, and you can be both. So have a balance between both. So that definitely changed in me. Like, I'm definitely not the same person in terms of that. Like, my mentality changed. Definitely, there were many failures, there were many challenges. These things, again, they build you. At the moment, they would feel like the world is ending and you've reached rock bottom and it's the worst thing in the life. Like, what will you do now? But now, after years, you will look back into it and laugh at yourself and say, oh my God, so that thing that really built who I am today. And these experiences teach you, really. So I think it's all, I'm very thankful. And you have to change. Aslan, if you don't change, here you should worry. You should worry if you don't change. You have to change, and hopefully for the better. So I know many people who enter university and they change into the worse. They become, I don't know, addicts. They become worse as terms of character, person. They lose themselves. So no, always stick to your beliefs, to your principles, and grow in terms of personal development. You have to work on yourself. Try to read books, take extra courses as well. If you can go on Coursera and build your CV. So you have these 4 years to actually build your CV as much as possible, and your resume. And yeah, so these things I think are very, very, very important.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I think, like you said, more than the grades, it's actually about the whole aspect of university experience, which is if you feel like, in your university, there are clubs and societies, and they are, looking for positions like president, vice president, like maybe student council as well, or head of events, something like that. Do participate in it because it might not feel like, work experience, but in a way you are getting some experience, you are building up your skills, you can add that in your CV as well, on your LinkedIn as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is very important. If you can't find internships outside of your campus, as you said, try to participate even within the campus. So I have participated in as the School of Engineering representative with the student council, or we call it the government association, and that helped me by itself. I was a peer advisor. I worked with different cultural clubs as well. I took different roles. I was a graphic designer at some point. I was a secretary at the other point. So all of these little experiences, as you said, they give you the work feeling or the work experience that you will need later in your life.
Exactly. And you learn these skills where you can, of course, apply it in many places, right? And I think when employers see that, okay, this person, maybe she doesn't have like experience outside, but she has been active in her university, which is great. Like being a president of your university is not like a very small task. You have so many things to do, and, budgets, events, coordination, leadership, time management, and all of that is transferable. So for students, if you feel like you can't, well, I'm still a student, but for everyone listening, if you feel like you can't find an opportunity outside, look for opportunities in your university, like internships, part-time stuff, volunteering. There's always volunteering opportunities and like open days and any events that are happening in your university. Try to do that because you'll get the support as well, and your university will of course prioritize you because you're a student, right? So I think
Yeah.
that really works.
The volunteering part is also important. I forgot to mention that some students are hesitant to participate in volunteering experiences because they always something they want something in return. Like
Yeah.
what is it in for me? But no, don't have this mentality at all. Don't have this mindset. Always try to volunteer because there is always something that will be more rewarding than money or than, I don't know, grades. It's the experience, as you mentioned, and not only the experience, it's always rewarding no matter what volunteering experience you will go into. So yeah, as you mentioned, you have to try as much as possible to volunteer.
Yeah, and I think coming to what you just said, that's also a really good thing, what you just mentioned about unpaid or paid. So I think in your initial years, when you feel like you want to learn and gain experience, you can do unpaid work as long as you're learning something, it's important. In your initial years, experience, learning, mentorship, all of that is the most important. If you're getting paid, it's fine, it's great, that's
It's a
amazing.
bonus.
But if
It's a bonus.
Exactly, exactly. But if you feel like, okay, no, I'm learning a lot, then that's amazing. Go for it. You can always make the money later. Like, for example, once you get your license, you have stuff like petrol that you need to pay for your bills, etc. So then it does make sense to look for paid opportunities. But if you feel like, okay, this is a solid opportunity where I can learn, go for it. Don't look at the money, just go for it. Like, it's very important. Like, I saw this quote as well, that in any opportunity you should either learn or earn. Like, for example, if it's one of them, it's fine. If it's both, it's great. But always make sure that you're learning, and make sure you're always, like you say, a student of life, basically. Make sure you're learning every day. So yeah, that's just my opinion on paid and unpaid internships.
100%. Now, some people might be hearing us and not privileged, or they would tell you, no, but we actually need paid
Yeah.
internships or paid work and we need the money. It's totally understandable. But what we're trying to say that, okay, you can do something on the side, try to get money, but at the same time, keep in mind like options if you can to be volunteering. And it depends on the situation, of course, and your circumstances. But everything you said is very valuable. And I'm learning from you today as well. So
Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot from you as well. Like you said, you're graduating, and everything you said, I really learned a lot. And it was honestly so great speaking to you. And these topics, I'm pretty sure it can really, really help, any student out there, and students especially entering university. This can be a very, very valuable episode, a very valuable, of course, like Liana mentioned, a lot of important stuff. So like, lastly, thank you so much, Liana, for coming and for sharing your wisdom and for speaking and for your time, of course. And for everyone else, like the audience, for listening, and see you all in the next episode.